Welcome to the Nevis Newscast for Friday, May 4th, 2018. I'm Fredicia Liebert. The Department of Youth, Sports and Community Affairs, in conjunction with the Culturama Secretariat, the Department of Community Affairs, and the Nevis Cultural Development Foundation, will be staging their annual costume making workshop from May 8th to 18th, 2018. The facilitator of the workshop is Shandy Lewis from Antigua and will focus on design, crafting, and wire bending. Sessions will take place on Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. and again from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. The cost for the workshop is $100, and special group rates are also available for 5 or more persons registering. A special invitation is extended to persons taking part in this year's Cultural Street Parade. The registration deadline has been extended to Tuesday, May 8th, and forms are available at the Department of Youth and Sports, upstairs Reliable Motors, as well as the Culturama Secretariat in the Cotton Ginnery Mall, or the Nevis Cultural Development Foundation's office at Penny's Estate. For more information, please call the Department of Youth and Sports at 469-5521 extension 2137 or 2072. A total of 9 schools will participate in this year's Warner's One-Stop sponsored Family Book Feud, hosted by the Ministry and Department of Education.
This year, our Family Book Feud takes place on the 19th of May, Saturday the 19th of May, 6:30 p.m. at NEPAC. It's an annual event, and we're looking forward to all our families preparing, spending time together, reading, going over the material, and coming prepared on the 19th to present a good show as usual for the general public.
Schools Library Coordinator in the Department of Education, Londa Brown, mentioned the 5 topics that would be covered during the quiz.
Nevision history, and for Nevision history we are looking at some of our sports icons. We have our science section, and the families were given materials in the science section based on natural disasters, covering disasters from tsunami, flood, drought, fire safety. The material in that category were taken from some brochures that were locally produced by the NDM, the Nevis Disaster Management, in collaboration with our schools. And so that should be an interesting part of our competition this year. Then we have our fiction, our stories, we have Bible stories, and we have nursery rhymes.
Brown also spoke about the goal of the Family Book Feud.
We want to encourage families to spend time together. Reading is our goal. We want to get our students reading. We want to get them in the habit of reading, because we all know the benefits that come from reading, and not just reading for school, but reading for pleasure, reading for fun. And we have concluded and we have decided that the best way to encourage our students to do that is through example. And so we have devised this competition, and every year we find people who are willing to participate in the competition to demonstrate that it makes a difference if families do it together. It makes a difference to your children if they see you reading as parents. It makes a difference to them if you can read together, if you spend time together.
The 9 participating schools include the Charlestown and Gingerland Secondary, Ivor Walters, Joyceling Liebert, St. Thomas, St. James, and Charlestown Primary Schools, as well as the Maud Cross Preparatory School and Montessori Academy. A number of school librarians were present at the meeting, including June Thompson of the St. James Primary, Shoya Lawrence of the Ivor Walters Primary, Terrick Dorr of Joyceling Liebert Primary, Juletta Paris of the St. Thomas's Primary, and Paula Wallace of the Charlestown Secondary School. Tickets are being sold at the various schools at the cost of $5. The Nevis Island Administration, Ministry of Human Resources, is pleased to inform you of Japanese postgraduate scholarship opportunities for citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis who wish to pursue postgraduate study. Suitable applicants will be required to sit an examination and attend an interview, which will both be held at the Embassy of Japan in Trinidad. Successful candidates will be selected after careful consideration by the relevant authorities in Japan. Please note that applications must be received by the Embassy by June 1st, 2018. For more information, Persons are asked to visit the embassy's website. The link is provided on your screen. Still to come, Prime Minister Harris reaffirms government's commitment to fully supporting the men and women in uniform. The details after this break.
Culturama is the premier cultural festival of Nevis, and it is celebrated annually over the Emancipation Day weekend. And there is some significance in the date why Calvin Cabo Howell chose the Emancipation Day weekend. That weekend is when we celebrate the emancipation of our forefathers from slavery back in 1834. July 26th until August 7th, 2018, we will celebrate the 44th anniversary of this festival.
Known as Uwali, land of beautiful waters by its native inhabitants, and later nicknamed Queen of the Caribbean by British settlers, Nevis has long relied on its natural prowess and resources to create livelihoods for its people. The people of Nevis have long remained connected to the gifts nature has bestowed. As an ambassador of this majestic island, it is my duty to encourage my people to nurture, preserve, and protect what makes us unique as a people and strong as a country.
This one is dedicated to my lovely little island. Festival again, festival again, festival again, festival again, festival again, festival again, festival again. The Caribbean's greatest summer line, yeah, it's Culturama time. 44 years we here, I know you love it here. Troops and festivities, Queen of the Caribbean. But all night, no time for sleep. Emancipate with we. Let food and folklore. Culturama 44. Let food and folklore. Welcome to our island shore. Let food and folklore. Entertainment to die for. Let food and folklore. Culturama 44.
Welcome back. Prime Minister and Minister of National Security, the Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris, joined citizens and residents of St. Kitts and Nevis in mourning the death of Mr. Dwight Davis, who at the time of his demise served as a sergeant with the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force, RSCNPF. Speaking during Wednesday's sitting of the National Assembly, Prime Minister Harris publicly expressed his sincerest and heartfelt condolences and those of the government and people of St. Kitts and Nevis to the family and loved ones of Sergeant Davis, who was shot and killed. The St. Kitts and Nevis Prime Minister stated that he earlier met with relatives of the late Sergeant Davis, at which time he personally expressed his condolences and sadness for the tragic loss of life. Prime Minister Harris also paid tribute to Sergeant Davis, particularly for the valiant service he rendered to St. Kitts and Nevis as a member of the police force. As investigations into Sergeant Davis's untimely death continues, the National Security Minister reaffirmed the government's commitment to fully supporting the men and women of the security forces as they endeavor to defend the safety and security of our great country. Dr. Harris further sought to encourage everyone to show his or her support to the security forces by providing any information one may deem relevant in clarifying the circumstances surrounding the death of Sergeant Davis, adding, "If you saw something or know something, please contact a member of the Police High Command or Crime Stoppers." Meanwhile, Speaker of the National Assembly, the Honorable A. Michael Perkins, expressed his own condolences to the family and loved ones of the late Dwight Davis, who served as a sergeant at arms in the federal parliament. Speaker Perkins then called the Honorable House to its feet in observance of a minute of silence in honor of Sergeant Davis. Late last week, students of the Gingerland Secondary School participated in one of the activities for Youth Month 2018, which was hosted by the Nevis Island Administration's Department of Youth. Senior Youth Officer and Counselor in the Department of Youth is Curtis Clark.
As part of our Youth Month activity, we decided to commemorate Global Youth Service Day last Thursday, where we invited schools, youth groups and organizations to participate in a community service event. Now, unfortunately, the Gingerland Secondary School was unable to participate in such project last week. However, they committed to beautifying their school, and the staff at the department, we have joined the students of the Gingerland Secondary School in their beautification project. Now I want to commend the Gingerland Secondary School for their commitment and for this initiative, and we do hope that it continues not only for the rest of this school term but for the rest of the students' lives, as we want them to be excited about volunteerism and participating in other community service projects.
Forms 3A1 and 3A2 teacher Rosalia Leslie outlined the purpose for choosing the type of activity.
The students are doing the topic food security, and with that we have started a kitchen garden. The stuff that they have planted in the garden they can use with whatever they make in the kitchen.
One of the students, Vanessa Simon, shared her impressions on the project.
I'm very happy to be participating in this garden project. Today we'll be planting chives, peppers and shallots.
The project was part of the Department of Youth's activities for Youth Month 2018, which was held under the theme, Securing Our Future, One Goal at a Time. That's how we conclude this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, I'm Fredicia Liebert. Thank you for viewing.